The South African forward has done something remarkable. He's beaten players who move like they're playing a different sport. He's outshone athletes who've redefined their positions. And he's left All Blacks icons wondering what just happened. This isn't about one game or one season. This is about a player who's rewriting what it means to be dominant in modern rugby. But here's where it gets interesting. Pieter Steph doesn't play the game like those around him. While others chase headlines with spectacular tries, he's building something different. Something more complete. And that's exactly why this debate matters. Because when you stack him against Antoine Dupont's brilliance, or Cheslin Kolbe's electric pace, or the legacy of New Zealand's greatest, you're not comparing like with like. You're asking whether rugby's evolution has created someone who transcends traditional comparisons. What separates Pieter Steph is how he uses that frame. Watch him in the defensive line, and you'll see a player who reads the game 3 phases ahead. He doesn't just make tackles, he ends momentum. When he hits a ball carrier, entire attacking structures collapse. That's not about being large, that's about timing, technique, and understanding exactly where to be. His work rate defies logic for someone his size. 80 minutes of rugby and he's still hunting down opposition players in the final seconds. Most forwards that big need to pick their moments, conserve energy, choose when to make an impact. Pieter Steph seems to have skipped that limitation entirely. He's everywhere every time, and opposition coaches have stopped trying to predict where he'll show up next. Antoine Dupont represents everything good about rugby. The French scrum half plays with vision that seems almost supernatural. He scores tries that get replayed for years. His decision-making under pressure has become the standard others are measured against. By any reasonable metric, he should be the unquestioned number one. Yet, Pieter Steph took the award, and it wasn't particularly close. That tells you something about how the game's being evaluated at the highest level. Dupont's brilliance in attack couldn't outweigh the Springboks' complete dominance across every aspect of play. It's not that Dupont isn't exceptional, it's that Pieter Steph operates on a different measurement scale altogether. Then there's Cheslin Kolbe, his own teammate, the little magician who makes defenders look foolish. He's got acceleration that shouldn't be possible, balance that defies physics, and finishing ability that wins World Cups. But rugby insiders know the truth. While Kolbe gets the spectacular moments, Pieter Steph gets the result. One creates magic in space. The other creates the platform that makes space possible. Both are invaluable, but only one controls the game's fundamental rhythm. The All Blacks legends present a different comparison entirely. New Zealand has produced loose forwards who've dominated eras. Players whose names still echo through rugby history. Men who defined what it meant to be world-class in that position. Pieter Steph has surpassed them, at least in the eyes of World Rugby's voters. That's not a slight against those legends. It's recognition that the game has evolved, and someone has evolved with it faster than anyone else. Richie McCaw set the benchmark for years. So complete, so intelligent, so relentless, that opponents built entire game plans just to contain him. Comparing anyone to McCaw feels almost unfair. Yet here we are, watching Pieter Steph operate at a level that demands the comparison. That alone should tell you what we're witnessing. But beating great players in voting doesn't make you unstoppable. It just makes you the best. Most elite players have a signature move or moment. That one thing they do better than anyone else. Pieter Steph's signature is that he doesn't need one. His game is built on doing everything at an elite level, which sounds simple, until you realize how rare that actually is. In defense, he's become the player opponents plan around. Not because he makes spectacular tackles, but because he makes the right tackle every single time. The one that stops momentum. The one that forces a turnover. The one that kills an overlap before it develops. Defense isn't about highlights, it's about consistency, positioning, and decision-making under fatigue. His rugby intelligence separates him from athletes who rely purely on physical gifts. He reads attacking shapes before they develop. He anticipates where the ball is going, not where it is. That half-second advantage means he's already moving while others are still processing. In a game measured in inches and seconds, that's the difference between good and unstoppable. The Springbok system amplifies his strengths perfectly. South Africa plays a game built on forward dominance and defensive pressure. Pieter Steph is the walking embodiment of that philosophy. What's remarkable is his consistency. Great performances happen, great seasons happen, but great performances Season after season, tournament after tournament, big game after big game. That's incredibly rare. Pieter Steph has delivered at that level for years now, without significant drop-off. And perhaps most importantly, he's evolved. The Pieter Steph of 5 years ago was excellent. Today's version is better. He's added skills, refined techniques, expanded his game. Most players peak and plateau. He's continued climbing, which suggests he might not be finished improving yet. That's the thoughts that should terrify opponents. Ireland tried to move the game away from him with quick-tempo rugby. France backed their own forwards to outmuscle him. None of these strategies have provided a reliable answer. He adjusts, adapts, and continues dominating. New Zealand might have the best blueprint simply because they faced him most often. The All Blacks understand that you can't shut him down completely, so they focus on minimizing his impact. Keep the ball alive in contact. Attack from deep. Force him to make decisions at pace. It's not about stopping him. It's about reducing his influence from catastrophic to merely significant. But even that approach only works when executed perfectly. Perhaps the real answer is that unstoppable doesn't mean perfect. It means that the cost of stopping you is higher than any team can afford to pay. By that definition, Pieter Steph might have already crossed that threshold. Yet every dynasty ends. Every dominant player eventually meets someone or something they can't overcome. When Pieter Steph's career ends, how will we remember him? The awards provide one answer. World Rugby Player of the Year, World Cup winner, countless man-of-the-match performances. But legacy in rugby is about more than silverware. It's about how you change the game. Did you force everyone else to evolve? Did you redefine what's possible in your position? The modern blindside flanker position is being reshaped in his image. Look at how teams are now recruiting for that role. They want players who can do everything. Athletes who combine size with skill, power with intelligence, defensive ability with ball-carrying threat. That complete package wasn't always the standard. Pieter Steph made it one. The Springboks have built their recent success around his strengths. When you have a player this good, you construct your game plan to maximize their impact. South Africa's defensive system, their breakdown strategy, their set-piece approach. Pieter Steph's fingerprints are all over it. Remove him, and the entire structure needs rethinking. The immediate future looks secure. He's still in his prime years, still performing at the highest level, still showing no signs of decline. But rugby moves fast. New players emerge. Tactics evolve. Today's unstoppable force becomes tomorrow's retired legend. What we're witnessing right now might be the peak. This exact version of Pieter Steph, at this exact moment in his career, operating at this exact level. Pieter Steph beat Dupont. He outshone Kolbe. He surpassed All Blacks legends in the eyes of those who vote on these things. Whether that makes him truly unstoppable depends on how you define the term. Can he be beaten? Obviously. Can he be contained? With enough resources and perfect execution? Perhaps. Can he be matched? Not right now. Not by anyone else on the planet. The better question might be whether we'll see another player like him. Someone who combines every attribute rugby values into one package. Someone who makes world-class players look ordinary simply by being that much better at everything. Right now, standing at the peak of World Rugby, he's the closest thing the sport has to an unstoppable force. And until someone proves otherwise, that's the reality everyone else is playing in.